Hey guys, welcome to Zoo Safari Yoga. We'll start today's practice standing. Go ahead and bring your feet right underneath your hips. Feet parallel. We'll bring those arms up overhead. Reaching our fingers tall, looking up towards the sky. We'll take a nice little side stretch on over to the right. Take a nice deep breath in here. And then deep breath out, come back to center. Stretch those arms up even taller to the sky, looking up. Bring the hands together and go ahead and bend on over to the left side. Taking a deep breath in, stretching longer. Take a deep breath out. Bring those arms all the way back up, stretching those fingertips as tall as you can. And then we're going to bring those hands back down to the sides of the body. From here, we'll start to lift one heel and then switch. Pressing that heel down, lift the opposite. We'll start to swing the arms, starting to march here. Starting to look for animals on our safari. Maybe we bring our right hand up over our brow, looking for animals. And then maybe we bring our left hand up over our brow. And what do we see? A lion that's crouched down nice and low into the grass, making our way down onto our hands and our knees, coming into lion's pose. Place your wrists underneath your shoulders. Put your knees right underneath your hips. Take a deep breath in and arch your back, lifting your tailbone, looking forward. Take a deep breath out. Tuck your tailbone. Tuck your chin, look back between those legs. A lion stretching, reaching its tail up towards the sky, looking forward out across the plain. And then a deep breath out. Stretching the back, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. Take a deep breath in, come back to your lion's pose, nice neutral spine. Let's bring that left leg back like a tail, starting to wag your tail over to the right, and then over to the left, over to the right, and over to the left, and maybe a little faster now, wagging back and forth. Bring that tail nice back and long, and then start to bend the tail up towards the sky, looking up towards the sky. And then bring the tail back down, touch it down to the ground, look back at the tail on the floor behind you. Reach the tail up, look forward to the sky. And look back at that tail as you set it down. One more time, reaching the tail up, look up. Reaching the tail down, look back. Place your left knee down, coming back to your lion's pose tabletop. This time, bring your right leg back like a tail and start to bring it on over to the left side, looking over that left shoulder, and then back on over to the right side. Wagging it back and forth, maybe a little faster now, maybe a little faster still. One more, and bring your tail back straight. Now lift it up towards the sky, looking forward up towards the sky. And then bring it down to the floor, looking back at the floor where you place it down on the floor. Take a deep breath in, lift the tail up, look forward. Take a deep breath out, look back and down. One more time. Deep breath in, look forward, lift the tail. Big breath out, look back at that right foot, place your right foot back down. Take an inhale here. Open the mouth nice and wide. Exhale, stick your tongue out, bug your eyes out. Take a deep breath in. Roaring like a lion, stick your tongue out, bug your eyes out. And one more time, deep breath in, stick your tongue out, bug your eyes out, lion's breath. Let's go ahead and move on from the roaring lion. Coming back to standing. Looking up and around for animals. Starting to march those legs once again. Lifting the opposite arm up over the forehead, looking for our animals as we march. And what do we see? A big giant snake that's reached those arms up, oh my goodness, and we'll bring our hands down to the floor, sneaking up into the snake through the grass. And let's turn into mimic the snake. Be like the snake. Come all the way down onto the ground, onto your belly. Slide your hands back towards your chest. Take a deep breath in. Peel your chest away from the floor like a snake. Take a deep breath out. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, maybe you can rise just a little higher. Take a deep breath in. Maybe as you exhale, deep breath out, you can rise even higher. Big breath in here. Exhale, come on down. Slithering along like a snake, looking for animals. And what do we see? An alligator. We'll slide our arms back like an alligator. We'll take a deep breath in and start to lift our alligator tail away from the floor, lifting the arms up. Take another deep breath in. Big lift with our alligator arms and our tail. And maybe we start to sway back and forth. Alligator swimming through the water. Big breath in. Big breath out. Keep swimming. Maybe you can swim a little faster. How fast can you swim? And then coming back to our hands and our knees, crawling back through the grass, coming back to standing to march along and look for our next animal. Here we are, marching along, bringing our hand up to our brow, looking to the right, bringing that hand down, bringing our hand up to the brow, looking to the left, and bringing that hand down. Both arms up towards the sky, stretching nice and long, and here we are marching along, and I spot a bear. Slowly we creep back down onto our hands and knees so as not to disturb the bear. And here we are coming into our bear pose, spreading our paws fiercely big on the floor, bringing the toes underneath the feet, starting to lift the knees up, starting to walk like a bear, side to side. See how low you can keep your knees without letting them touch the floor. Back and forth, back and forth. Can you start to walk a little faster? And then here we come back down to our hands and our knees, crawling away from the bears, back into the grass, coming back to standing. We'll start to march again, looking for our next animal, bringing the arm up over the brow, turning to look, and coming back to march. Opposite arm up, over the brow, and turning back to march. And what do I see? A big flock of flamingos. Bringing our wings out to the side. We'll bring our weight on over to our one foot and lift the other leg up like a flamingo leg. Holding here. Maybe our wings start to fly out to the side. Maybe you can start to look over one arm and back to center. Maybe you can start to look over the opposite arm and back to center. Bring both feet back down. Bend the elbows, bring the wings and the hands back down to the legs. Switching sides. Bring your weight over to the opposite leg, the other leg. Start to lift the knee. Ooh. Maybe our wings come out to the side. Maybe we start to look over the side. And then look back to center. Maybe we look over to the other side. And back to center. Maybe we challenge and start to flap our flamingo wings. And bring both feet back down. And we'll start to march. What else might we find? Bringing our hand over our brow, looking in one direction. Bringing the other hand up, looking in the opposite direction. How about a monkey? In fact, an entire group of monkeys. Squatting nice and low. Getting down like a monkey. We'll start to walk along. And maybe you can place one hand down onto the ground, stretching the other arm up towards the sky, reaching up for a piece of fruit on the tree. Grabbing the fruit, bringing it back down. And then the other arm, reaching it up, reaching out of the tree, bringing it back down. Standing up, bringing both fruits up. And wow, here we are marching again. And what do we see? Here we are passing the flock of flamingos again. Coming on over, bring your weight over to one foot, like a flamingo. Lift the opposite leg up straight. Hands to your hips like wings. Maybe they fly out to the side. Maybe you can start to flap them. How fast can you flap those wings without your flamingo falling over? Bring the hands back down to the hips, bringing the wings back down. Bring both feet back down to the floor and switch sides. Bringing the leg up like a flamingo leg. Bringing the arms out to the side. And maybe we start to flap those wings. Nice and slow to start. And then picking up the pace. How fast can you go without your flamingo falling over? Bring your wings back in, hands to hips. Bring both feet back down. And here we are, marching along. Do you remember what we came across? A bear! Making our way back down onto our hands and our knees. Bringing our bare paws out nice and wide and strong. Tuck your toes and lift your knees away. Now maybe this time you lift the opposite arm, opposite foot, marching the bear. Just keep marching, big strong paws, marching along. Maybe your paws are stuck like honey, and you have to move really slow. And here we are moving through the bear territory, crawling back in through the grass, and making our way back on up to marching through the zoo. And what do we come on next? The alligators. Quick, get down into the grass, crawling along, bringing ourselves all the way down onto our bellies like an alligator, sliding those alligator arms back, lifting that alligator tail nice and long, lifting those alligator arms back far, lengthening your alligator head nice and long. Start to swim through the water, back and forth. Keep swimming. Squeeze those legs together, strong tail, shoulders back, alligator's arms lifted and back. And here we come through the alligators to the snakes, coming down onto the floor. Sweep your hands forward underneath your elbows. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your elbows together, press into your hands and lift, peeling yourself up like a cobra. Nice and long through the chest, open. Maybe you can press up a little further. Maybe even a little further. And then slowly coming all the way back down. Slithering through the ground, bring your arms out in front of you. And then coming into crawling back through the grass. Bring your hands back underneath your armpits. Press up onto your hands and knees. Bring your weight back into your feet. Coming back to our Tadasana. Standing and coming back to our marching. And oh my goodness, we're back to the first part where we see the lions. Slowly making our way back down into the grass. Sneaking through the grass to come upon the lions. And here they are out sunning themselves, lowering their hips, opening their chest, and then lifting their hips, sending their chest back towards their legs, stretching their arms out in front of them. And again, coming back on up to hands and knees. Letting the chest open forward, bending the back, sunning ourselves in the sun. Lifting the hips up and back. Setting the chest down towards the floor. Deep stretch like a lion. Coming back on up. Walking our lion through the bush. Tail wagging behind. And switch legs, opposite tail. And back to walking through the grass. Coming back to our standing. Marching ourselves back to the lagoon, where we can take a lovely rest in the river. Marching ourselves down the side of the banks of the river, coming in to lay down, floating along in the water, gazing at the leaves and the vines hanging above you. How still can you be? Imagine yourself floating through the mossy, viney lagoon. Imagine floating to the opposite side of the lagoon. Slowly coming up and out of the water, lifting the head, lifting the chest, and coming all the way back to where we began, standing. Thank you for practicing our zoo safari yoga.